Hello, welcome to Fairy Joy Tarot. Let's look at your May 2026 predictions. So you have 3 cards to choose from. The first group is all about the self. The second pile is all about the space. And the third one is all about truth. Hello, pile 1. So welcome to your May reading. Your overall energy is the self. And let's turn around the card because we have a little sentence here. If beating yourself up worked, you'd be thin, rich, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. And actually, this is very fitting for all the other cards of all the other areas of your life in May 2026. And just so you know, even if you don't watch this reading in May 2026, it may apply to the months when you're watching this reading. So even if it's like in 2 years' time, in November, it will still be fitting for the November then. All right, so let's turn this around again. So your overall energy is to love yourself more, to give yourself whatever you need. And with that, all the good things are coming. All right, let's start with this card here. I pulled this card here for your career and your studies. And, well, there is a lot going on, let me tell you. For one, we have a Page of Cups here. But I don't think that this guy actually looks like a Page of Cups. I feel like he actually looks much more like a Page of Coins. Because to me, those moons or whatever this is, I was immediately looking at it and was like, oh, money, abundance, good things coming. Like, you're definitely gonna make money this month, or at least getting more stable this month. But with a cup aspect, which is obviously emotions, which is very much your topic this month. I don't know if you ever heard about the red string theory, which is that you and another person are destined by a red string. If you believe in like true love and having like, being with one person, then you can apply that red string theory. Obviously, if you believe it or put it in a wider scale, you also have strings attached with everybody you meet, everybody you come across. So maybe one of the things that you should do when you're watching this video is that every time you get home from work or wherever you were, you cut cords. You can do this by imagining yourself, that you're standing straight up. And then you imagine that all these strings are coming out of you that are attached to other people, places, or energies. And then you imagine that like a sword is coming from above and it's cutting all through the cords and they all fall off. So you're only in your own energy and not have any attachments to anybody else. I think that would be very helpful for you to be able to actually feel your own energy. And to also I don't know why this popped in my head, but apparently it's very important to say this, that you reach your own star potential. Can you tell I just messed this up? That you reach your own star potential. Maybe there's a part of you that doesn't believe in that yet, or that never had the chance to even believe in that because of all the other things going on in your life. So I feel like now is the time, especially in your career, that you also here focus on yourself. You bring in all your coins so you feel all happy and satisfied with yourself, and then somehow fate can plan and pull the red string everywhere it needs to go. The little bunny makes me think of springtime, which is now. So spring might be an important season. And I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but they made me think of actually a wedding. So you might go to a wedding, or maybe a friend of yours is getting engaged. Maybe you are getting engaged. If so, congratulations. So yeah, that's about your career. So again, just giving you a little recap here about your career advice. Cut cords with anybody, focus on yourself, and everything else will fall into place. All right, then when we're looking at this row here, we're looking at love. Interestingly enough, at first this looks not so, let's say, happy, but I actually think this is just because all the other things are not in full alignment yet. If your own self-love and your own star power is not in alignment yet, a person cannot come in. You will always be attracted to someone that is below your worth. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because energy is matching energy. Meaning, if you're getting out of this cage, only then you can meet someone that is worthy of you, that is bringing you more stability, that is making you happy, and that is not making you feel like a ghost or being ignored. And also you have like escape here. And look like how she actually, I'm only realizing this now, she is trying to escape a cage that has been built. So, if you are in any kind of relationship that makes you feel like you're not free or you can be yourself, and even if it's about like a career job, a career relationship, you might think twice again, please. That doesn't mean that you're going to quit your job, that you're going to leave your family, that you're going to, just move on tomorrow. That's not my advice. But my advice here is that you take a good look at who is helping you be yourself more in a positive way and who is making you feel like you're in a cage. And maybe these people are not good for you, or these circumstances are not good for you. So let's already get you some advice here on how you can move out of any kind of cage that's been around you. And let me also just say, it's possible that you have put your own cage around you. Whether it's because you want to keep yourself safe, let's say, or because you just don't know better. Maybe you have never learned how to cut cords, for example. Then how would you know? If you've never learned this, how would you know? Or maybe you never learned what kind of words you actually need to hear from yourself, maybe even, in order to feel validated and fully loved. The things that you wish others would give you, give them to yourself first. Even if it's like words like, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're kind. I love when you smile. Oh, that looks cute. Oh, I loved how you were so thoughtful when XYZ. Give yourself those things that you want and need. Okay, so some advice for your love life. We have, wave of prosperity. So apparently, your career might be an indicator for I almost said new love coming in. For your new love coming in, because here we have the red string, we have finances, they're matching, and then actually, let's go to the next aspect of your life, which is again matching up. Finances, be open to love. My heart is open. So there might be a connection between your work ethic and love. If this applies to you, maybe rethink. If you're someone that's a workaholic that feels like only when you get XYZ done, you can receive love, think again. Because you existing, seriously, you being alive at this moment in time is worthy enough of love. You are worthy of everything good by just being. Okay? Let me say this again. You simply existing makes you worthy of good things and to receive them. Okay, I feel like you should take a good look at what kind of emotions, because we have a lot of water here everywhere on the bottom. What emotions are you having inside that need to come out? What is stuck inside that needs to come out? Hey, look at that some more. And I feel like, look at how like full this boat is of abundance. So abundance is coming. Let me nonetheless pull a guidance card. All right. Blessing. Wow, look at you. Blessings. Open your heart to start receiving the blessings you deserve. I mean, I don't even know what to say. This is perfect. It's perfect. And look, you have all the love. You have all the abundance coming in. And then, when we're looking at your last aspect here, which is health, make a wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. Please close your eyes for a moment and just make a wish. All right. I feel like your health is, if you have any health problems, you might have too much things as of emotions stuck inside you and feel too stressed and restricted in some ways. I feel like once you can let go of some emotions, let go of any kind of cages on the inside or the outside of you, your health will improve a lot, or you will have more energy, you will sleep better. And you will also look in the mirror and like what you see. All right, then let's look at some more guidance. Okay, we have Goddess. Your intuition is at its highest. Listen carefully. Lost, the universe is soon going to show you a new way so be ready and reach. The changes you are trying to make are getting closer. And if we put in all these three cards together, I feel like that the goddess within you is calling you to come out. And obviously, if you're a male listening, the God within you is calling you. I feel like there is this star potential, and look at all these stars. And here you get stars. So you are, this I feel like it's only like, this is how you feel. You might feel lost. You may not be able to see yet all the star potential that is trying to come in. So please listen to your intuition on how you can open your heart so you can get out of this cage in order to become your truest, most beautiful self. All right, this is it, pile one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. May you have a wonderful day or night with lots of laughter, fairy miracles, and a joy that protects and sustains you. Bye! Hello, pile two. Welcome to your May 2026 reading. All right, so let's start with your overall energy. You have the card of space. And funnily enough, actually, I did not recognize this as a cat in the beginning. So maybe you will find things in your space that you didn't even know you had, or you somehow like, I don't want to say misjudged them, but maybe you didn't figure out, oh, this thing I can use also for this and that. So maybe you will have some items in your home that have more than one purpose that you may not have found out yet. All right, then let's look at the scene in the back of the card. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. All right, so basically, it is important that you figure out what is not serving you this month, what is not in your life for your highest good. And this can apply either to material things, relationships, even like any thoughts that are not helpful for you. So definitely make maybe even a list of things that are stressing you out, and then see if you can get rid of some of those thoughts, responsibilities in order to create actually space for what you really want to have in your life. Okay, let's first look at your career and studies. We have the card of justice, and you might, this guy makes me think of Korea, also because of this flag down here, even though it's not blue, but like a turquoise color. So maybe there's something about you wanting to expand your horizons. Unless you're from Korea, then shout out to Korea. You want to maybe yeah, like be brave enough to take the step towards maybe even learning Korean, or take on the role as either like a translator, a communicator, or even a diplomat. All these words are popping in my head. So maybe you want to take more responsibilities and maybe venture out to different departments or countries even, so you can level up in your career. So if this is like a sign for you to take the big leap of faith for something, then here we are. All right, then let's look at your love life. So for your love life, you have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive and soulmate. So you might have a soulmate coming in if you're single. If you are haven't already someone on your mind, or you're in a romantic relationship already, then this person might be a soulmate. I feel like though the cards are definitely talking about that you need to take care of yourself first, meaning that even if you are in a relationship, you need to take care of your own needs first, so that you are not dependent on your partner. You know, of course, in a relationship, you're helping each other out. And ideally, it's like a give and give relationship, meaning that you give to your partner is giving to you, your partner gives to you, and you give to your partner. You know, like it's not one is always given and the other one is taken, but that both of you are like, helping each other out there. That's the ideal relationship, and that's what you want to strive for. However, you need to also be your own best friend and your perfect partner, so that the relationship that you're going to have with a romantic interest is going to feel light, because you're not giving them all your, like, let's say, baggage, and they're the ones that need to take them. So definitely make sure that whatever it is that you need, you make conscious. And maybe there's some things that you felt like you needed, and maybe they're not even that big of a deal, because I just looked at this card again of the removing things that doesn't add up to your life. So maybe even in relationships, there are some things that you feel like you put too much pressure on, or even for yourself you put too much pressure on. And now I actually get a headache. So I feel like this is a lot more in your mind than actually like it is the truth. So maybe you feel like, okay, I need to act this specific way, or what are they thinking if I do this, then the other thing, how do they feel about this? Stop there. Don't put it all on them. First, think and feel, what are you feeling and thinking? How do you like them? How do you feel when you're with them? What do you think of them? You know? And also, like, if you take it as a mirror, then how do they make you feel? How do, like, what is the reflection that they give back to you? Are they a safe space? Do they make you feel like you can be silly? Do they make you feel like you can be your own true self? I feel like these are important questions to move forward in your love life. Okay, let's look at your finances. Well, you got the exceeding expectations card, and look at how golden it all is, and something is growing. So you might actually start building like a proper foundation. I feel like if you are already having a proper foundation in your finance department, I feel like you might actually open up a new channel of income this month. Maybe you have an idea of like, okay, this could be a great side hustle, or maybe you get a couple more hours here and there at work. I feel like definitely say yes, because you're gonna exceed the expectations. I feel like you might have an epiphany, and maybe if you want to take a topic for this month in your meditations, it would be like, okay, how can I make my life even more abundant? I feel like this could be a great question to ask in your meditation, and then let's see what guidance you get. Okay, I want to pull actually some cards for you about that. Let me pull some tarot cards about that. If there's already something coming in. Oh, well, you got the Page of Pentacles, so you might start small, but it's definitely clear, you know? The idea might start small, but it needs to be an idea where you're like, okay, this is definitely a money-making thing. And overthinking will not help you. And then I got actually like a special card here, and it says, I actually always leave the guiding cards in the deck, as like a special joker kind of card. Let me just get through what's written on there. Well, it actually talks about the cards being a mirror again. So I feel like you're gonna bring in some money, but if it's not as much as you wish for, don't take it personally. I feel like this is again going hand in hand with you venturing out, and maybe you're not gonna, maybe you're not gonna have this overnight success, but just keep building. Just keep building, and don't make your financial income be your worth, You are an infinite being. And even if in this material world, we are not yet at a point of infinite abundance, it can happen in a way of like, just keep building, step by step, and then at one point or another, the balance has to come in. If you think of like a balance, like a scale, if you put in so much work and energy into something, at one point or another it has to give. Even if it's not that project, something else has to give. A balance has to strike. And I feel like that's also about like justice. Justice has to happen. So don't overthink, and just start small. Just start small and keep going. And then actually, we have the Queen of Cups here. So maybe your emotions, and actually like these pebbles look like money for me just now. So yeah, like definitely show yourself some love so it can also translate outside, and maybe bring in more abundance because you feel more confident about the choices you make. Okay, then let's look at health. So health. You have mother healing. As your feelings towards your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. I feel like even if you have a good relationship to your mom, there might be still some things that may hold you back. And this might be actually in relationship to your love life. So maybe look at how your relationship with your mom and also your parents' relationship are still holding you back, that you cannot give your all to yourself and others. And I feel like you need to walk away from anything that's like an old kind of hat of negative emotions. Like walk away from any emotions that don't serve you towards anybody in your family, so that you can like throw them off the wheel. This is like the Wheel of Fortune. So you can bring in actually this abundance and be your own kind of true hero. Okay, let's look at some guidance in general. So grounding is really important this month for you. Being quiet, so definitely go within and meditate and ask for guidance. And power. So when you're doing these two things, the power of yourself within is gonna maybe be even like a ripple effect. And this is a world, and this is talking about your inner world. So look at your inner world and look how you can translate your inner world to the outside to bring in everything that you wish for and that your heart is actually beating for. I feel like this, the sentence of the question actually, what is my heart beating for in this month, might also be a really good question, that you really follow the guidance of your heart rather than anything else. All right, Pal 2, I hope this reading helped you. I wish you a beautiful May. May you have a wonderful day or night with lots of laughter, fairy miracles, and a joy that protects and sustains you. Bye! Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your May 2026 reading. So, let's start with the overall energy. Your overall energy is truth. So, let's see what this card is saying on the back. Truth is different at different levels of consciousness. Reserve judgment. Okay. I feel like this month you need to figure out your own truth about things. And this can be towards yourself, towards others. But I feel like, especially towards yourself, I feel like you might have misjudged yourself sometimes in the past, and are in like phases of like overwhelm, or when your nervous system is not in a balanced state, you might actually be really hard on yourself. So I feel like this, like, we're already actually getting into advice on what could be actually helping you this month a lot, and therefore actually for your whole life, is to let loose of the, like, the self-control, in a sense of being harsh to yourself and criticizing yourself too much about things that might not even be in your control. You have a lot of eyes in this card. And I feel like, or let's say there's a lot going on here in the beginning of the month. Overall energy, and this is talking about your career and your finance, not your finances, but apparently your career and your finances are going hand in hand this month. All right, so I feel like there's a lot going on, and you have a couple of eyes there. So try to look at yourself with like the eye of unconditional love. A good advice would be, let's say you have like your children, your nephews, somebody's kid that you really, really love, and this could actually also talk to your inner child. Think about them. If they would make a mistake, the same mistake you're making, but it's not on purpose, would you react in the same way towards them? Maybe in your head you're like shouting, or you're like really frustrated with yourself for a mistake happening. Would you talk to those kids in the same way? Probably not. Then please do not do that towards yourself, because you're actually making yourself be more restricted and smaller than the situation actually calls for. So have this in the back of your mind. When you are making a mistake, would you talk to a kid like that? Yeah, keep that in mind, so you are becoming more kinder towards yourself, and you keep looking at yourself with the eye of unconditional love. I keep also like putting my hand on my chest, so maybe you want to do a meditation where you keep your hand on your chest, or even maybe better, your heart chakra, which is actually in between your breasts, whether you're a female or a man, like where that is, there is your heart chakra. And maybe you want to put your hand there and meditate and tell yourself, I love you, I love you, I love you, over and over again. Even if it feels like a lie, it doesn't matter, because at one point or another, you're going to shift and it's going to start to feel real. So just try that out. Okay, let's look at your career and studies. So you have temperance, but you have a lot going on. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities in May, and many like task ahead. I feel like what's important here is that you find some kind of outlet to balance it all out, because nobody of us has that many hands. Nobody of us can do this all in one go, and I feel like that person here having their foot in the water is what's calming them down. So they only have like a little thing that's helping them to ground themselves in the midst of chaos. So maybe you want to have like something in your pocket, or maybe a bracelet on, that you can like remind yourself to take a deep breath when things are starting to, get chaotic or a bit too much. Like seriously, take like, even if it's just 10 seconds, take a break, take 10 seconds and breathe. And then see what is the most important thing that I need to actually do right now. And then you do that thing, and then you take another break. Okay? and also see what is truly your responsibility and what is not. I feel like this month you are also reminded of, like taking a look at maybe the things that you've been hard on that you've been hard on about yourself are not even like your responsibilities to take. Maybe, like, let's say, maybe you keep getting annoyed at like a co-worker or family member for always leaving a mess and you have to pick it up. And this could obviously like in a physical way, but also like, like having more workload just because they can't do their job properly and stuff. Then maybe, and I know conflict isn't nice and stuff, but maybe you should actually see the truth for what it is and be like, hey, and I'm just going to make up a name. Hey, Jim, I cannot take on this task of yours. I'm sorry, I have, my plate is full here. And if Jim doesn't want to hear you, well, I'm sorry, then go to your boss and talk about Jim, because you only are responsible for yourself and you need to live your life in your own truth. And it's not okay if somebody else is doing stupid stuff and then you're the one that needs to like work through it all and then have even more pressure or more stress. That is not okay. So please try to find a solution, and you can do this. Just be kind, but be assertive and make a point that your responsibilities are yours and other people's responsibilities are theirs, so that you can have a bit more of a, relaxed state of mind and body. All right, then let's look at your love life. So you have flirt and self-sufficient. Well, this might be, maybe you once you are not in that stress energy anymore, you might actually come into like your own power and be quite a bit flirtatious. I feel like when you are, I get the energy of, like a spring breeze, when you're going through the city and you have all these flowers around, like people are looking at you, oh my God, what a beautiful girl or boy, like in a sense of like that when you're in your own energy, it's so beautiful that people are actually turning their head. So come back to yourself, find that space again, and then maybe someone is coming your way and might give you a compliment. If you're already in a relationship, maybe this is a time to relax together and laugh. And if you're thinking about someone, maybe the change of atmosphere is gonna attract them to you more. All right, then let's look at your finances. Making a difference. So I feel like that when you let go of the stress, things are coming back to you actually. Things are coming back to you, and it might actually be in different forms than you think, because like how she's like or he is like giving away like a little star, but actually like the mouth here is making me think of like communication. So you might actually get a really, really good message about your finances. And maybe this is about maybe because you had so much responsibility here and you mastered it, you might actually get a promotion or something. So I wish you good luck that is happening for you if you wish for that. And then let's look at your health. Okay, so I feel like because of all the stress you went through, you might actually feel quite tired this month. If that is the case, definitely make sure that you check your iron and like other kind of levels, because if your body isn't nourished enough or you just have too much stress going on, well, obviously you're gonna get tired. So I feel like definitely maybe check your iron levels. And you could either do that by, going to a doctor, or by maybe buying like sometimes you can find those test kits at a drugstore. So maybe you can do that, and then definitely amp up your iron level so that you can feel all happy and be in this flirtatious energy with a step in your with a pep in your step. So yeah. All right, let's look at some guidance for you. So you got the door. A new beginning is upon you, and it is better than ever. But I feel like for that, you need to let go of some things that are not yours to carry. And then a new direction is popping up, and you might also be able to be more connected to yourself. And especially your inner child. I feel like your inner child might be very much asking you to take a break and to play more. So definitely incorporate some kind of fun and play here and there, even if it's just, 5 minutes 5 minutes in the morning when you're listening to a song and dancing to it. That already can like lift you up for the whole day. Or in your lunch break, like maybe instead of like staying in and having lunch with your coworkers, you're just taking a stroll around, and who knows, maybe you're seeing a cute dog that's making you happy during your lunch break. So definitely make some time for fun and play so that you can be just really happy this month. All right, then I hope you're having a beautiful May, and may you have a wonderful day or night with lots of laughter, fairy miracles, and a joy that protects and sustains you. Bye!